Alright guys, Daniel back again finally. Been working on this video, prepping for it for a little bit. I got the step-by-step for doing rental box trucks. You want to run Amazon Relay and other brokers with your own authority, okay? But mainly starting with a box truck that you will be renting. Alright, and I got some exciting news, so listen closely. I'm going to go through this as fast as I can, but it is a lot. I'm going to do more videos like on each step. For things that I haven't done yet, so I'll put those in the links as I get them done. Trying to do this as fast as possible, but this was like one big thing I've been putting together, so make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the links below. I have direct links, affiliate links to some of the people that will help you out with things you need along the way. Everything down below, so check that out. Another thing I want to ask you guys to do, any questions you have, put in the comments. Unless it's something you want to talk one-on-one, you can call me. My number's down below as well. This is my email. A lot of people reaching out, and it's awesome. Any insurance stuff you guys need along the way, like I'm here to help out for that in the states that I write in. I'm adding more states as fast as I can to try and help everybody out. But yeah, that gets us up to speed. All right, so let's break this down. Step 1, register a business. I have a link to LegalZoom if you need help with that. I don't know exactly what the cost is per state. I don't have that broken down. But like in my state, North Carolina, I think it's like $130 to register a business. Once you knock that out, and that's if you do it on your own. LegalZoom, I'm sure they're going to charge a fee on top of that, but they might also add in the next step, which is getting your EIN. So you get your EIN, you can go get that on the government IRS website. Quick and easy. It takes less than 10 minutes. It's kind of hard to mess up. Just follow the steps. Make sure you read what you're clicking on, and you can be done. But you can also do those two things, register the business and get the EIN through LegalZoom or some other services out there. Whatever you want to do, you can do it on your own and save money. I recommend that, but if you're not certain, go through another service to make sure, everything's good, neat, clean. I's are dotted, T's are crossed, all that good stuff. Next, set up a bank account, commercial banking. So a lot of people talk about going with like a credit union or something like that. That could be cool because it's more like personable. You might have like one person you work with. If you need that or you like that, go for it. I like the bigger banks because I like the technology most importantly. They're normally ahead on technology. And I don't necessarily need my own personal banker. I can kind of handle all that on my own. But wherever you're falling, do what's comfortable for you when it comes to the banking thing. Especially if you already have if you're banking with a bank that can do commercial stuff already, maybe you have some people there, go with that. That's probably better. People talk about doing credit unions as well because of lending down the road, but maybe that could be an avenue for you, but there's tons of other options, and we'll be talking about that later on in some future videos. Because, ideally we want to go from renting to owning, okay? So I'm working on some of that too to help you guys out with the lending part. All right, so register your business, get your EIN, set up a bank account. At the same time, sign up for QuickBooks. I've got a link down there. It's like half off for 6 months now. I think they bumped it from half off for 3 months to 6 months, so it's even better. And it starts at like $7 a month. That will help you keep everything organized, keep up with taxes if you have to pay taxes. Hopefully you won't have to pay, or not much anyways. What else? QuickBooks will link into a lot of other things. I like QuickBooks a lot because it can integrate so much, and it'll literally just tell you help you categorize each thing, and spits out what you owe for taxes, like quarterly or whatever, depending on how you file and all that. Yeah, but it's just easy. Again, I'm not an accountant or legal counsel here. This is just what I see the most of my clients do from the insurance perspective. All right, so the next thing, and this is totally optional. You can use your own email address. I wouldn't. Set up 2 email addresses, okay? One that you're going to use for important communication with people like your insurance agent. Who else? The truck rental companies. Anyone that you actually need to have constant communication with, you'll have email for that, and then you'll have email for marketing for when you do your FMCSA authority application, okay? So main thing is control the marketing and control the noise, because it will be a lot. So one email for them that you can just kind of monitor. All right, I'm not saying like set it up and forget it, like use that for your authority and never look at it, because there's some important stuff that could come through there that would be directly from FMCSA, but most of it's just going to be people blowing up your inbox with marketing. All right, so one for important stuff, one for marketing. Same thing with a phone number. I have a friend that can hook you up with One Talk at Verizon. If you want to do a second phone number, I would recommend it. What I did when I did my motor carrier authority, I set up another phone line. I set the phone line so whenever someone called it, it automatically goes to voicemail, and I just monitored the voicemail inbox. I never got a single phone call from the dozens and dozens of people that will call you trying to sell you stuff. So if there's anything important that came through, they'd leave a voicemail. And like FMCSA, if for any reason they ever called you, which I don't think they will, they always send letters, they would leave a voicemail, right? So you'll catch it. You'll catch the important stuff, because important stuff, like if it's really important, they'll leave a voicemail. Anyways, so use your, whatever phone number you have now, use that for the important communication, just like the other email. All right, and then control the noise with that second phone line. And then after you get everything set up, you might actually want to use that second line, booking loads, keeping up with people, all that good stuff. All right, so yeah, I've got a link down below where you can fill out contact information, and Corey will hook you up. The other cool little benefit, not sure what service provider you have, Verizon Wireless has always been the best. All right, so if you want to get on Verizon, Corey can hook you up with your business on there. And like if you've checked recently and you might have deposits with Verizon, you can set up a One Talk line. In 6 months, you'll have no deposits with your business account. It's pretty cool. All right, next up, we're going to apply for your motor carrier authority. I made a video on that, links below. And that costs about $300. It costs $300 exactly. So you've done all these other steps. Register your business, got your LLC, got your EIN, you set up a bank account. We're going to control the communication by doing the thing with the email and phone number. And you're ready, you've done all that. That's the prep work, right, to get to the authority application. All right, you're going to go through the authority application exactly like I show you in the video link below. All right, you will not mess it up, you will not waste any time, and you will avoid being delayed. A lot of people, I'm getting calls every day where people, click something wrong in the application. The application determines whether or not someone's going to quote you for insurance, okay? And it also is going to determine whether or not you're going to be qualified for brokers and Amazon Relay. So you don't want to mess that up, or else you're going to be halted on that. And it sucks having to call the FMCSA to try and get this fixed. It can take hours and hours and weeks to fix. So go through that video. It's a long video. It's a long process to get through that application. Just get through it, all right? Power through it. As soon as you get your MC and your DOT number, like you'll get your DOT number like the second you finish the application. Your MC number might not come through till like the next day or two, all right? But you'll get it. Once you have that, you need to knock out your BOC-3 and your UCR, all right? So the next few steps I'm talking about, like we've gotten up to doing the application. In the first week of completing your application, we're gonna go through these things here real quick. So BOC-3, UCR, all right? BOC-3, I've got a link below. It's the cheapest you'll find it, $25. UCR, that's the flat rate, unless you use a service provider, which I wouldn't recommend on this. It's too easy, $62, okay? If you go straight to the UCR site or whatever, which is linked below, you can do it. It's really quick and easy, and I'll have a video on exactly how to do it, because there's a couple little confusing things since you're going to be renting that might throw you off. I'll help you out with that. But yeah, 25 on BOC-3, 62 on UCR. Next up, DOT physical exam and medical card. All right, you can get your authority activated without this, but you don't want to be running without it. All right, so there's a link below to find a local examiner. You can like plug in your zip code, and it'll find somebody close to you. Runs about $85 to $100 based on where you're at and who's doing it. Catch my breath. All right, once you got that, we're still in the first week of completing your application, okay? So do this right away, all right? Get your insurance quote in. I've got a form below that is exactly what we need. if it's in a state that I don't write insurance in, you still fill out this form and you want to give it to an agent because it's going to help them do it really quickly. And here's part of the problem that I hear when people call me asking questions. What you say and what someone else hears and what they say and what you hear don't always align. Trucking is notoriously bad about one thing meaning 10 things and 10 things meaning one thing, okay? So like, it's half of it's translating and not everyone's a great translator, all right? So fill out my quote application and literally they'll be able to take the quote application and plug it straight into Progressive, okay? It's like question for question on the system, all right? I make it super easy. Can't really mess this up. All right, yeah, but that's linked below. If it's in a state that I can write it, I'll get you a quote back as fast as possible. If it's in one that I'm not, make sure you find an agent that is like specialized in trucking, okay? They have to be specialized in trucking, and they have to be willing to work with you on this because they are going to have a lot of service work since you're doing rentals. Rentals means like if you're turning a truck in every week and getting a different truck the next week, that agent has to do work for you every single week. All right, you have to make sure your truck is listed on the policy before it hits the road, so the agent has to get that updated before you move it. All right, that's one of the most important things. All right, don't mess that up. All right, so insurance quote. Now, again, we're in the first week of finishing the application, so you get the quote ahead of time. You might get a discount for that. Okay, when you quote ahead, sometimes you can get discounts. So make sure you fill out that quote app like as soon as you get the MC number, and we'll be able to help you out there. All right, same exact time, talk to my guys over at RTS Freight Factoring and Fuel Cards. All right, RTS Financial. I really recommend them. They can help you out with anything. They have multiple fuel card options for whatever's going to be best in your specific scenario and area. Get with them. Get with them ahead of time. Again, in this first week, you've got to wait 21 days from the time you apply till you can go active. But do all of this stuff in the first week so you have it all set up. So you're not scrambling, because some of this stuff requires like some back and forth. It's not like click a button done for any of this. So just about not any of it. So you want to get it on, you want to get started on all of this stuff ahead of time. Get with RTS, all right? Like, definitely get with them. They're awesome. They are the best. All right. The next step here, and again, links for all of this below. RTS, there's a link for their contact information. My guy Luke will reach out to you. All right. So next step is, and this one's tough. I wish I could help out more on this, but I haven't found a way to do it that I feel comfortable recommending. Okay. Finding a dispatcher. And you're like, wait, I'm doing Amazon Relay. You're not going to do only Amazon Relay. All right. I wish you could only do Amazon Relay. Some people do Amazon Relay only, but in a lot of areas you need to have relationships set up with multiple brokers and have a dispatcher that can help you find the freight. All right, this is going to be really critical when Amazon Relay's freight boards dry out and you're sitting there with a box truck you're paying, chunk of change for each week. So you need to have other options for freight. All right, we're going here. But for finding a dispatcher, interview dispatchers, all right? Like, reach out to some locally, try and find them through other sources, but find a good one and don't find a cheap one. A cheap one's probably a bad one. An expensive one is probably worth more than you're going to pay them. If they charge more, they're probably better, okay? And it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Next up, you sign up for DAT. My links below give you a month for free. You want to kind of get acquainted with the system if you're not already. There's plenty of videos out there, and I'll do some as well, just kind of like how you're looking through DAT, how the system works, how to book loads, how to post your truck, all that good stuff. Either one, first month's free. Check out the links below on that. All right, next up is a sweet deal I've made with Budget, a truck rental. I called around. I'm in the Charlotte area in North Carolina. I called around for box trucks, right? 26 footers, dock height, and with or without lift gates. So I got a bunch of different rates, and just from the insurance side of things, I get the certificate of insurance requests all the time, and I've seen like Ryder offer weekly rate of $400 plus 10 cents a mile, right? So I called Ryder first, and I was like, hey, how do I get this rate? You know, like, this is the Amazon deal, right? Like, trying to mention that. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have that, but you can't get it because we have too much demand. So I'm like, the heck? That's not awesome. So Penske, Enterprise, Ryder, Budget. Kept trying to dig into each one. I finally got a deal with Budget. And there's a link below to reach out to Shane at Budget. He will set up an account. I describe how it works. A lot of the other places will vary based on demand and whatnot, but this is locked in. You just have to go to the link below, fill out the information, which is on my website. That will automatically go over to Shane. He'll get the account created. Once your authority and insurance are all activated, I'll send over a certificate of insurance, or your insurance agent will, to Budget, and then your budget like corporate account essentially will be locked in. You'll be able to go to Budget and use those rates. So that's huge. All right, so next step, new entrant phone call. Basically, you're going to get a letter in the mail. You're going to call the FMCSA, that number on there. They're going to go through your application essentially. And this normally comes within 7 to 10 days of completing your application. All they're really doing is just going over everything you put in. So just, you know, if you follow my video when you're talking with them on the phone, just okay, yep, that's good, correct, right. You should be good there. It's quick and easy, not that big a deal. All right, so now we're like into the second week, like about halfway through the waiting period for your authority. All right. We've gotten all this other stuff in place. You've scheduled, or you've done your BOC-3, UCR. You went and did your DOT physical exam. You got your insurance quote. You've talked to RTS about freight factoring and your fuel cards. Figured all that out. You might still be looking for a dispatcher, and you got signed up on DAT. You filled out information for getting a account set up at Budget truck rental. Next, we want to, really, we're just waiting at this point. If you've done all that, I mean, you could do almost all of that in the first week, and then all you're doing is waiting till a few days before that 21st day. So, like, let's just pretend you filled out your application on the 1st. On day, like, 17, 18, maybe 19, you do your down payment on your insurance, okay, to get that activated, or so that the insurance can do the filings so that your authority gets activated, and then boom, 21st day you go active, you're ready to rock and roll. On the day that your authority goes active, you can apply to Amazon Relay, and that will either get approved same day or next day, unless it's like over a weekend. You know, it could be like the next business day. But those, like when I did mine, it was same day. I got it like that afternoon. It was pretty quick. But yep. The other thing you can be doing, like as soon as you get the insurance done, is apply to brokers. Fill out all the carrier applications. I've got links below for that as well. Directly to the site and where you need to be to fill in the carrier packet information. What else? So steps. You get all the way up to that, and you're like ready to hit the road. You'll go pick up your truck. Hopefully you've got your dispatcher in place. You got these other brokers already signed up. Like every time you fill out a carrier application with these brokers, a lot of them use RMIS, registry monitoring systems. They're gonna email your insurance agent automatically. So then I'm sending certificates as soon as I get those. All of that, got to do that as soon as the insurance is in place. Then the last thing I would say is get a binder together for DOT compliance. I'll have a video of everything to throw in there. You want to keep that on you. I've got links even below for like a really heavy duty binder and the sheet protectors, because if you're renting trucks, you're going to be moving that thing around a lot. You don't want it to be flimsy and fall apart. So I found like the most robust binder you can get. There's links below for that. Also, couple little things that are optional. When you're renting a truck less than 30 days at a time, like you have it in your possession for less than 30 days, you don't have to put your DOT and MC number and business name, all that good stuff on the side of the doors. But if you want to, I got a deal for door magnets. There's links for that, and you get 15% off, and they're actually really reasonable. I've heard as much as like 50 to 80 bucks. These don't cost that much. And then one other thing is dash cam. You know, this might be a little over the top, but I've had people who use dash cams and would have been charged at fault in an accident, but because they had a dash cam, they were not ruled at fault, right? So like, here's what happens. You're in a commercial vehicle, you're held to a higher standard. If you're in a wreck, it's your fault because you should have avoided it. Not all of the time, but that's kind of like, that's how a lot of people see it, right? So like, you hit a sedan with a family of 4 or 5, like, dash cam can save you and your company, all right? When it's questionable and not going to lean in your favor just because you're in a commercial vehicle. All right, dash cams can help out with that. So got a link for that as well below. And guys, if you have any questions or if you're further along in the process, you're just now seeing this video, feel free to give me a call, email me. I'm happy to help out. Like even if you're in a state that I'm not in, I don't mind a bit. And I'll have more videos down the road for everything else. Compliance, hiring drivers, all the next steps, buying trucks, working on some things for that too for you guys. This is really fun and exciting. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody that's reached out. And yeah, there's more to come. Again, leave comments down below with your questions, unless it's something you just don't feel comfortable or whatever, you want to talk one-on-one, reach out to me. Perfectly fine. And thank you guys. I'll see you again soon.